West imposes a dictatorship on Moldova and Ukraine, forcibly separating both countries from the freedom-loving Ruski Mir. This is how the agitprop responded to the closure of 6 pro-Kremlin TV channels in Moldova. Hi, I'm Mariana and I'm a researcher of the Ukrainian fact-checking project Stop Fake. On December 16, the Moldovan Commission of Emergency Situations restricted the licenses for 6 pro-Russian TV channels: NTV Moldova, Action TV, Arhei TV, TV6, Primul in Moldova and RTR Moldova. The official reason was the accusation in distorting the facts about events in Ukraine and countering disinformation. The licenses were finally revoked on December 19. The employees of the closed TV channels claim that they did not spread propaganda, and now, as some of them stated, they will be rescued. It is an eloquent statement, by the way. Did they mean that now Russia will turn Chisinau into Mariupol, saving them? Or what was that? The TV Post special program, which have been broadcasted right after that happened, also say a lot. In some vox pops, for example, reporters ask people on the street if their news contained propaganda. Of course not, everybody answered. No propaganda, obviously. Such things do not affect them at all, as they said. Of course it doesn't. And it's even not a manipulative formulation, is it? The owners of these TV channels, by the way, are both from Russia and Moldova. All of them were affiliated to a certain extent with the pro-Russian forces in the Republic, with the political party of Socialists and the party Shor, named after their leader Ilan Shor, who is hidden in Israel from Moldovan justice. This party also stayed behind the organization of weekly anti-government demonstrations in Chisinau. The closure of TV channels has attracted enormous attention both in Moldova, Ukraine, Russia, and not only. The reaction, frankly speaking, was not so unequivocal. And in fact, all these 6 TV channels did not actually cover the war in Ukraine. And that was their main role, not to cover it, not to say about Russian aggression. In a nutshell, we had the staff of 6 TV channels who was silent on the subject, and they were accused of propaganda. Let's see how it works. Today we will discuss agenda setting theory. It describes how media influences viewers, establishes news hierarchy, and influences audiences' information priorities. And to talk or not to talk handles how seriously people take certain events. About war in Ukraine, for example, which is not discussed, which is hidden from your attention. Media prioritizes what people care about, decides agenda, which shapes society, and acts as a filter, determining what information is more relevant to society. So was it propaganda? The full-scale invasion of Ukraine, February 24, not even mentioning 8 years of aggression, was accompanied by streams of disinformation and propaganda from the early days. Reducing attention to Ukraine, it as the Kremlin's war of invasion is one of the strategic communication goals of weakening way to help Ukraine, to undermine political solidarity with Ukraine. After all, in order to support someone, you at least need to know about them. Russia's reaction was extremely immediate. Liberal democracy which the West is planting in Ukraine and Moldova looks more like military communism. One more example. West has forgotten that they were teaching the world how to live in the informational space just yesterday. Today they are just waving sanction chains and repressive sledgehammers. And Moldova, unfortunately, under current regime is following the same path. About the sledgehammers, it is extremely funny. Especially funny also after that fact when, in response to recognition of Russia as a sponsor of terrorism, Putin's close one and the founder of the private military company Wagner, Yevgeny Prigozhin, sent an allegedly bloody sledgehammer to the European Parliament. By the way, there is no single news item about this on the banned channels as well. What kind of war? There is no war. And then it turns out that Ukraine is bombing itself? Look what the West has brought Ukraine to. And it's driving Moldova also to it. To what? To that fact that Russia started the aggressive war? but the pro-Russian media just forgot to mention it. In this case, the silences of Russian aggression is not even the cynicism, but an element of Kremlin's more complex war propaganda strategy. And war propaganda, this can already be seen in terms of legal responsibility. The propagandists themselves are trying to frame that decision to ban these sources as a persecution of Russian speakers and violating their rights. But these are also manipulation. First of all, the channels created content in Romanian as well. Regarding the events in Ukraine, what is the difference in what language did they keep silence? And pro-Russian and Russian speakers are not always the same things, especially in the Moldovan context. So it would be a mistake to consider this hybrid soap opera solely within the informational perspective. This was a joint blog of the Stop Fake and Our TV. Bye!